Hey vinyl community, hey people out there on YouTube, it's Mazzy here. I'm going to show you some records that are all about civil rights, human rights, anti-war protest songs. We're going through a rough time here in America. I think the world's going through a rough time. George Floyd was murdered. We're in the middle of a pandemic. America, we have a president who cares more about himself than the rest of the world. I'm at an age that I remember the civil rights movement as a young boy. I remember the assassinations. I remember the tumultuous year of 1968. This year's looking very similar, or parallels, and also in the early 70s during the anti-war movement and the like. We have a president in this country who divides, who doesn't try to bring us together, especially in a situation like this when there is mass protests around America. And do not confuse the protesters with the looters. There are people slipping in, looting, smashing windows, hurting people. They're not part of the peaceful movement. But it makes it look bad to the people on the other side. We have a president who doesn't come out to try to heal us, who, when people are protesting outside the White House, hides down in his bunker for the night. I'm just going to show these records. I'm not going to say much about them. I think I advise you pick one and listen to it in the next day or week or month. No particular order. Just going to go through it. Some are specifically related to the kinds of things that are going on today. Some are about anti-establishment, sometimes just anti-war, anti-racism, civil rights, protest in general. So they're not specific to this cause. They're songs about what happened in Alabama in the 60s, what happened in the South in the 60s, what happened in Berkeley, what happened in Ireland, what happened anywhere around the world. John Coltrane, the key cut here is Alabama. Gil Scott-Heron, the key cut is The Revolution Will Not Be Televised. Billie Holiday, beautiful song that says it all, and that is Strange Fruit, Billie Holiday. Herbie Hancock's 1965, the entire album of Prisoner, The Prisoner. Charlie Mingus, the song Fables and Faubus, 1959. Max Roach. You need me to remove the Obi, don't you? Of course I need to. Well, we insist, it says. We insist. Max Roach, the great Max Roach. The Beatles' Revolution from 1968. John Lennon's Power to the People. The Clash first album, Take Any Tracks. I'm So Bored with the USA, Hate and War, London's Burning, Career Opportunities. Oliver's Army, IRA, Irish, the British. I Feel Like I'm Fixing to Die, Could You Join the Fish, Vietnam War, anti-war. Fortunate Son, Creedence Clearwater Revival. Ohio, Club Seals and Nash, written by Neil Young, was a single live version on 4-Way Street. Great song about the 1970 shootings in Ohio on a college campus. Dead Kennedys, take any song from the Dead Kennedys album. California Uberales, Kill the Poor, Let's Lynch the Landlord, Chemical Warfare, Holiday in Cambodia. Peter Gabriel, the key track here, Biko, South African. Marvin Gaye, Save the Children, Inner City Blues, Mercy, Mercy Me, What's Going On. It's anthology, 3-record anthology. Grandmaster Flash, The Message. It's like a jungle outside. Donny Hathaway. Key track again, What's Going On. Little Ghetto Boy. Ian Heavy, He's My Brother. The Ghetto. It's a live album. Donny Hathaway. Jefferson Airplane Volunteers. We Can Be Together. And Volunteers. Get Up, Stand Up, Bob Marley and the Wailers. Get up, stand up. Get up for your rights. The Other Side of Town, Wild and Free, Miss Black America. We the People Who Are Darker Than Blue, Give It Up. Curtis Mayfield. Eva Destruction, sung by Barry McGuire, written by P.F. Sloan. You can pick pretty much anything by the great Pete Seeger from the Weavers, protest singer. Wimoweh, The Lion Sleeps Tonight, Where Have All the Flowers Gone? Turn, Turn, Turn from the book of Ecclesiastes, taken from the Bible, and he wrote the music for it. And then the Byrds obviously turned it into their great folk rock classic as well. Pete Seeger, We Shall Overcome. The Selector, On My Radio, Too Much Pressure, Murder, the whole ska scene in England. Specials too, I don't have the particular album, Ghost, Sly and the Family Stone, There's a Riot Going On. The Smiths, Panic. Mavis Staples, this great album, this was produced by Jeff Tweedy. No Time for Crying, Building a Bridge, We Go High, Peaceful Dream, If All I Was Black. This album, If All I Was Black, by the great Mavis Staples, part of the Staples singer, and also her great album, We Get By, produced by Ben Harper, with the great cover photo by Gordon Parks of the black kids looking in the white playground. Songs Change, Brothers and Sisters, One More Change, Chance on Me, Stronger. This entire album, Mavis Staples. Monster, Steppenwolf, great anti-war song. Another Motown collection comp, Temptations. Ball of Confusion, That's What the World Is Today. It actually is. It's like this stuff has repeated We need to get out of this. We need to change it again, change things. We can't get stuck in this. And with all these protests going on, remember, the protests are necessary, but it's just compounding the coronavirus. 11% spike in coronavirus in California alone. Are we opening too fast? You know, everyone wants to go to the beach. Everyone wants to get together and protest. It's compounding it too. We can't win, can we, right now, huh? Sunday Bloody Sunday, Ireland, U2, war. Now, not written for this reason, but it's taken on a whole new thing, is Bill Withers' Lean On Me. This is almost like becoming an anthem of what's going on right now. He died just 2 months ago. Great song, Bill Withers' Lean On Me. Stevie Wonder, Inner Visions, Living for the City, Higher Ground, Don't You Worry About the Thing. Phil Oakes, I Ain't Marching Anymore. This whole album, one of the great protest folk albums. Survival, Backstabbers, Living for the Weekend, maybe not, but the OJs. Anarchy in the UK, Sex Pistols, God Save the Queen, Sex Pistols. Universal Soldier, Donovan, written by Buffy St. Marie. Little Tin Soldier as well, his earlier folkier records. 10cc Rubber Bullets. First Take, Fleetwood Mac. No, not Fleetwood Mac. Roberta Flack. Sounds like Fleetwood Mac, doesn't it? Compared to what? Angelitos, Negroes, Our Ages Are Our Hearts, The Ballad of the Sad Young Men, the great Roberta Flack. Sounds of Silence, Simon and Garfunkel. John and Yoko, Sometime in New York City. Pick a song. And ending up with the great album by Bob Dylan, The Times They Are Changing. Before I get to that song, we cannot forget the great Lonesome Death of Hattie Carroll. An amazing, amazing song. Relevant today in so many ways. But Times They Are Changing, Bob Dylan. So, you know, did a little political rant at the beginning, but it shouldn't be about politics. Just, we need to all vote this year in America and vote everywhere in the world. Your vote does matter. Your vote does count. Now, this ain't just about politics. I've lived through Dwight Eisenhower, John Kennedy, Lyndon Johnson, Gerald Ford, Richard Nixon, not in that order. Should have been George McGovern, but ending the war. Jimmy Carter, Ronald Reagan, out of order there. Or no, that's true. Jimmy Carter, Ronald Reagan, George Bush Sr., Bill Clinton, George W. Bush, and Barack Obama, and the guy we have now, who I hope is a one-term president. But every other president in any kind of national disaster, or when there's been a discussion or violence in the streets of America, came out and addressed the nation. This guy has been hiding for a week. He's been, today alone, he's on the phone dissing governors of the states, basically wants to shut them down, shut the protesters down. And remember, protesters and looters are different. Black life matters. Black lives matter. So Mazzy just says, pick one of these records, listen to it over the next week or so. If you're watching this in 10 years, hopefully we've made it out of this mess. But this kind of thing never really ends. We've been talking about this shit for forever, my lifetime, and I'm probably somewhat older than a lot of you there. But Mazzy loves you, and enjoy the music. Listen to the music too. Peace out. There's always one more, and if we want to be hopeful, a song written almost 50 years ago, John Lennon, Imagine. Imagine if you try. 50 years, not a lot has changed.